What's going on, guys? My name is Nessie. If you don't know who I am, I'm a small variety streamer over on Twitch. We're currently hooked to PoE2, but today we're going to be going over the Sacrificial Heart quest. Where to find it, where to take it, and what to do if you skipped it in Act 3 and your Act 3 normal and your waypoint is only showing Apex of Filth and not Aggorat, which is where you need to turn it in. So first and foremost, how to get the Sacrificial Heart. The Sacrificial Heart apparently drops off of any mobs in Act 3 is what I've heard. Information is kind of crazy right now. We're still pretty early on. However, in my personal experience, I have only found it in both Utzal and Aggorat, and that is the past version of Act 3. So after you go through the gateway, you'll enter Utzal as well as Aggorat eventually. Those are the only two places that I personally have found the Sacrificial Heart. I've read other people mentioning that they've found it earlier than that. I have not at all. So both in Act 3 normal and in Act 3 cruel, I was only able to find it in Utzal and Aggorat, and they drop off of any of the rares in the zone. I have not had it drop off of a normal enemy. I've only had it drop off of a rare. Where do you take it? Well, you're going to end up in this room eventually. No matter which way you go in Aggorat, it's going to funnel you into this room. You have to come into here. Once you enter this room, you'll know that you're in like the proper area of Aggorat. You'll see all the bodies everywhere. There's blood everywhere. This is the sacrificing sort of area is what I think of it as of Aggorat. Once you enter here, you hit this checkpoint. You will, regardless of whether it lets you exit through the northeast or the southeast or southwest, sorry, you will be hugging the wall and heading northeast. Every single time I've gone through here, including when I went back to Act 3 normal to try to farm the heart, which we'll touch on that later. You don't actually have to farm, at least in my experience, you don't have to farm for a second heart if you skipped it the first time, but we'll talk about that later. But every single time that I've come through this zone, it's always in the northeast where you need to take the heart to. So you're going to take the heart into the northeast. You'll know you're in the right spot because there is a checkpoint here with a bunch of piles of bodies around, and then there will be a rare mob that you have to fight. This rare mob was actually pretty difficult when I did it in Act 3 Cruel. He does a lot of damage, and I think bleeding. So just be careful with him. He might one-shot you if your build isn't up to par yet, so be careful with that. Be warned. Once you're done killing him, you will proceed up the staircase where he came down from, and there will be the sacrifice altar there. You'll see a ritual dagger on the ledge. You grab the ritual dagger, you place the heart, you stab the heart. Congratulations, you now have your 2 points. Okay, so what to do if you skipped it in Act 3? So for me personally, when I tried to go back to Act 3 normal, once I figured out how to do it in Act 3 cruel, I tried to go back in Act 3 normal and the waypoints were only letting me go to present time, quote unquote, which is Apex of Filth and the Drowned City. So what I had to do was I had to go through the gateway. I also had some quests I noticed here. I don't know why. I don't know if that bugged. Obviously, I had already progressed into Act 3, so I'd already finished all those quests, but I noticed I still had quest markers. I talked to all those people, and then I proceeded to the gateway, which teleports you to the riverbank. It's a little annoying, but once you get through the riverbank and you get to Act 1 Cruel, the first town, Clearfell, you can click on the waypoint there, and then if you go back to Act 3 normal, it should show you the map like this, where you can see Aggorat and Utzal and stuff. So you'll head back into Aggorat here, and in my personal experience, when I went through Act 3 the first time, I had actually looted the Sacrificial Heart, but I skipped the altar and didn't know where to take it. So when I landed on the riverbank the first time, I just discarded the Sacrificial Heart from my inventory. Now, I don't know if this is why, but I actually did not have to farm for a second heart. I actually spent about 2 hours farming for a Sacrificial Heart, thinking that it was just a low drop chance. And lo and behold, all I had to do was go back to that altar, pick up the ritual dagger, and then a magical heart was in my inventory. I guess I could just click on place heart, and I did so, and you're able to stab it. And boom, there you go. You have your second set of skill points for your total of 4 passive skill points. Now, keep in mind, you may need to farm for a Sacrificial Heart. Like I said, I already had the heart in my inventory when I ended Act 3 in normal, and I dropped it on the riverbank. I just deleted it from my inventory on the riverbank. That could be the reason why I did not have to farm for the second heart. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. Try it for yourself. Run over to the altar again, grab the ritual dagger, see if it lets you place it. If it lets you place it, cool. If it doesn't let you place the heart, then maybe you do need to go farm for a second heart. So just be mindful of that. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is actually the first like fuller length video I have on my channel, so I would really appreciate any love and support. Feel free to stop by the Twitch. I'm very helpful. I enjoy helping other people, especially new players to certain games. So feel free to drop by, ask any questions. If you need help with anything else, I'm more than willing to answer. And yeah, check out the Twitch, come stop by, say hi, say what's up, hang out. We're running endgame maps right now. All the links will be in the description below. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.